I don't think anybody is going to hear the secret, Joe, because there's no sound. A number of people on the chat board are saying that there's no sound. Audio issues. What else is new? Let's chalk this up to another thing today that's been happening with me.
Yeah, hang on. Uh, okay. Now we got the audio back. Okay. Anyway, we just blasted through the open. I'm going to just start it again. So just give me a moment here, folks, because this show goes on Spotify. So I record it. So I'm going to start the open again since you all missed it. And yes, here we are. And we've got Imelda and Humberto making their exits in the east, and Imelda's going to be passing over for Bermuda late Wednesday into Wednesday night, early Thursday morning. Humberto's a done deal as it becomes post-tropical, and what's left behind is a beautiful dome of high pressure that's going to be covering the eastern states for the rest of the week and for the weekend. And we're going to tell you all about it right here tonight on the Joe and Joe Weather Show podcast. And you can support the Joe and Joe Weather Show podcast if you shop on Amazon. Use the referral link that is pinned to the top of the chat board. And all you got to do is use the link to do your shopping. Amazon doesn't, you don't spend, nothing comes out of your own pocket other than what you're buying. Amazon throws us back a little bit of coin for sending you there. And it's a very easy way to support the Joe and Joe Weather Show podcast. It keeps the live portion, the live version, commercial free. And Tempest by Weatherflow. Get the revolutionary Tempest weather system. Join the fastest growing observing weather network on the planet. I've had one for 4 years. It's solar powered. You don't have to really do anything. Just monitor it on your mobile device. The link for this is on the description to this podcast under the title. And Joe Rayo knows what the secret coupon code is.
It is autumn 2025, and if you use that coupon code, you will get 10% off.
Yes, you will. So, nice big dome of high pressure coming in. It's going to be the coolest air that we've seen, probably going back to late May, I would think.
Normally, I would have the date in front of me, at least for the lower Hudson Valley, but I have not looked at a weather map. I still have not looked at a weather map through the course of the day today, so I'm going to just assume that what we looked
Just
at
assume that I
yesterday.
just told you the truth.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, okay,
Could be
okay,
late
very
May.
good. So we
Although
got,
the way the summer or the way the spring was, it might very well have been that we might have had a day in June that was unseasonably cool. But I again I don't have the exact
all right, well, these are
statistics.
three nice cool days and three even colder nights.
Yeah, well, for some in the Northeast, I'm sure that there'll be a touch of frost on the old pumpkin come tomorrow night or Thursday morning. And what can you do? It's we're moving into the truly moving into the fall season now.
And then you're going to go into the weekend where things are going to warm up, but there's still, I don't see any rain coming until the earliest will be late Wednesday or Wednesday night into Thursday of next week. So this is another prolonged stretch of dry weather. It's been like this since the middle part of August, where we've been getting into these long stretches in between rainfalls.
Could very well be. It's only going to exacerbate the dry conditions across a good part of the Northeast. I was looking at parts of New England, and they are under severe drought, and it's only going to get worse, Joe, with the lack of any precipitation over the coming days ahead.
Welcome tonight to everybody on the chat board. Those of you watching in the background of the Joe and Joe Weather Show podcast, we welcome you too. Subscribe to my YouTube channel and turn your notifications on so you don't miss us. So normally our schedule is Sunday through Thursday at 7:35 with the occasional Friday and Saturday when there's a storm around. But because the weather is going to be just absolutely silent, not just here, but pretty much around the country, it's going to be on the quiet side. We're going to take a few days off, and the next show will be this coming Sunday at 7:35 p.m. So mark it down, and I know you'll miss us. because it's part of your routine. But we like to take advantage of these breaks when they show up. So we'll see you again next Sunday night, but we still got tonight to get through. So again, subscribe to my YouTube channel, turn your notifications on so you don't miss us. And if you like the show, by all means, hit the like button. And we'll start off tonight, Joe, with Umberto and Imelda, and they're still both very much together on the U.S. satellite loop off the East Coast. Still had quite a bit of high cloudiness that hung around today, pretty far north, but that seems to be consolidating now as the hurricane is moving eastward. And of course, Umberto is now northwest of Bermuda and going to pass well to the north of Bermuda during the overnight. Imelda, though, is on a sort of a straight line path to maybe go right. The center may pass right over the island sometime Wednesday night.
Not a very good time to be on the island of Bermuda. And of course, very popular here in the New York metropolitan area are the cruises to Bermuda. They leave usually on a Saturday or a Sunday, take 40 hours to get to Bermuda. You stay for a few days, usually in midweek, and then you sail back. But I suspect the waters are very, very rough now, even for a cruise ship which has stabilizers. And if you're on the island of Bermuda right now, I'm sure they're telling you to batten down for for a rough couple of days, and then we'll see Imelda move off to the north and east. But the combination of both Umberto and also Imelda making for very rough conditions. I think some spots in the North Atlantic, Joe, 30 to 50 foot high wave heights. Wow.
Well, and by the way, the Outer Banks of North Carolina, they had to close access to the Outer Banks today, not because of any rain, but the waves have been pretty impressive, and some homes were washed away. So there is some impact going on to coastal areas in North Carolina, and of course the seas are going to be roughed up a bit all the way up into southern and southeastern New England until both these systems can get out of the way. The other thing we should mention too is Bermuda, certainly over the last, I don't know, say 10 years or so, has been sort of a bullseye target. They've had a number of tropical cyclones that have gone either close to or even right over the island. And what is remarkable is I can't remember which one it was. There were a couple of them that were category threes or even borderline category three, category four that went over Bermuda. And within a week, everything is repaired. You wouldn't have known that a hurricane had passed through there. They are very resilient on that island, and they just get to work and get it done.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I've been to Bermuda a few times in my life, and it's a lovely place to visit. Hamilton, of course, the capital of Bermuda, and it's interesting. The ships have now become so tremendously large in the last 15 or 20 years that now you can't go to Bermuda and make landfall at Hamilton. I think you have to go somewhere else. The docks or where they used to have ships coming in, the ships are just too humongous. They can't take care of them at Hamilton. So you have to go somewhere else on Bermuda to when you go there on a cruise ship.
I don't know about you, but I don't. The idea of going on one of those cruise ships that have, basically carrying 12-story buildings on them is not something that I want to do, nor will I do.
Well, yeah, you're right. They look like the classic. You think back to the 1950s and 60s, the classic view of what a ship, an ocean liner, looked like. And now, when you look at these ships, they look like 7-layer cakes.
Yeah, no,
They,
no. I wouldn't. I'm not doing that. I'm just never.
they're literally cities on the sea.
Yeah,
They've
no,
like 5,000, 6,000 people.
yeah, no, it's not for me. Skies are clear in upstate New York and in New England, and that's that Canadian air that's filtering down. And you'll notice it when you wake up tomorrow morning because it's going to be a lot cooler than it has been. It's also nice and clear back through the Great Lakes and into the Ohio Valley. Still dealing with clouds and some moisture on the backside of Imelda, the flow aloft is northeast to southwest across the southeastern states. So it has been bringing some scattered showers and downpours, even down to me here in North Georgia. We also have a little bit of moisture from a couple of weak upper troughs up and down the Mississippi River Valley, and we've got some energy that's coming into the Pacific Northwest. That's where the radars are the busiest in the Pacific Northwest, or there's actually some heavy rain moving into western Washington, and northwestern Oregon. Meanwhile, what's in the Mississippi Valley in terms of clouds really not producing anything in terms of rain, just some light echoes that are picking up, and I'm guessing that much of the stuff, if not all of it, is not even reaching the ground. We do have a little bit of leftover rain tonight in eastern North Carolina and just offshore. And you can see some of the shower activity that's going on in southern West Virginia and down through the southern Appalachians. And to me, if you see that little area there that's in northeast Georgia that's moving southward, that is passing over me now and soon to move away, because then once it moves away, I can actually go out and walk the dog. No severe weather forecast for the next 3 days. And this is WPC's 5-day. They usually have the 7-day, but they were having some problems with that today. So I got the rainfall for the next 5 days. I mean, except for Florida, east coast of Florida, some areas along the immediate Gulf Coast, there ain't a drop of rain to be seen here through next Sunday. And if we had the 7-day up, we could probably say that right through next Tuesday. And that covers the Great Lakes, the Ohio Valley, the Tennessee Valley, much of the Mississippi River Valley, the Southern Plains, and the Southwest. There's a half to 3/4 inch amounts being indicated from Northern California northeastward through northern Nevada, Wyoming, through the Dakotas into northwest Minnesota, and slightly heavier precip up in Washington State along the coast. But really, it's fairly minimal here in terms of the amount of rainfall that's going to be going on across the country.
Absolutely. It's going to be a long-term stretch. It's kind of like almost like last year. Last year, if you remember, October 2024 was the driest month in the history of Central Park. Over 150, 160 year period. Only 1/100th of an inch of rain fell last October in Central Park. It looks like nature is I'm sure we're not going to break any records this year, but nature seems to be trying to mimic what happened last year with that paucity of precipitation.
Paucity is always, you get your $5 words in there.
Yeah,
Uh,
absolutely.
Ridging building in the east, trough off the east coast, and that moves out. So all the west, mostly southwest winds coming off the west coast and going right up into eastern Canada. So once we get through, this is a time of year where, you get a ridge like this. Canada's not as warm as it is, say, in July, so the air is obviously going to be reflecting that, being cool over the next 3 days, and some of that, and that has to do with the fact that this upper trough that's off the east coast and the two hurricanes pulling down that cooler air. But once that plays out, you're going to see a ridging in the east building over the weekend, and a deep trough comes down from Western Canada down into the Rockies on Sunday, and part of it drops to the southwest. The other part lifts up into Canada. Now the upper flow tries to normalize some, but doesn't quite get there. So we're going to still probably see areas of cooler air staying more to the north, and particularly in the western part of the U.S. and in western Canada, and not so much in the east until you can get the trough position to shift eastward. So except for these first few days of October, the overall pattern into mid-month would suggest that temperatures are going to be probably running above average. And until the moisture could get involved, we're going to see below average precip.
And and so we continue with that long-term stretch of dry weather. And so if you have anything that you want to do out of doors these next 7 to 10 days, Go ahead and do it. You're not going to be hampered by any kind of precipitation, it would appear.
With the big high to the north and the two hurricanes offshore, it's probably going to be a bit on the breezy side later tonight and Wednesday, and maybe even into part of Thursday. But once the high starts to settle southward, and that happens Thursday night, and particularly on Friday when it rebuilds in the mid Atlantic states, uh, we're going to see the winds drop off and actually go to the west. And that's going to start warming temperatures up. Humidity is going to have a tough time coming up, but the temperatures are going to uh, definitely rise over the weekend and into the first part of next week. There's a weather front that approaches on Wednesday with some showers, and the European wants to just take that front out and then dry things out. I think the GFS earlier today was a bit different with that, where it here's the front on the GFS, which doesn't come through until later Wednesday or Wednesday evening, and then goes out. And when we get behind that, we get slightly cooler air that comes back in. That high goes out. A stronger front approaches for the weekend of October 11th, which is Columbus Day weekend, with actually some reasonably cool air being indicated across the Great Lakes, and that overall that pattern seems to take over. Your GFS has a slightly different outlook for the latter part of the forecast period, but it's hard to say whether it's going to materialize or not. Late in the forecast period, it wants to start bringing troughs back more into the eastern part of the United States. But that's a problem for next week when we come back on Sunday to figure it out. We can tell you right now, not a drop of rain through Tuesday. In fact, most of the east, except maybe the southeast coast, Florida, and the immediate Gulf Coast, where they're going to be dealing with this onshore flow off the Atlantic, everybody else is going to be pretty much bone dry for the next 5 to 7 days.
Don't have much to add to that.
Okay.
That's absolutely, agree 100% with you.
Imelda at 29.4. Actually, should have the 8 o'clock advisory because we have hurricane warnings up for Bermuda. And at 8 o'clock, Imelda is at 29.4 north, 74.9 west. And the top winds are 85 miles an hour. So it's about 600 miles to the west-southwest of Bermuda. 85-mile-an-hour winds moving east-northeast at 12. I don't think there's going to be much in the way of strengthening. Maybe it might strengthen just a little bit, but it's not going to get into anything crazy. The hurricane, 2 a.m. Thursday morning, is located to the east of Bermuda, and then it runs up into the Atlantic and goes away. Humberto, which right now really all it's doing is generating rough surf and rip currents throughout much of the western Atlantic. Humberto is at 5 o'clock, is at 34 and 69.5, which is about 300 miles northwest of Bermuda. And it's forecast to weaken to a tropical storm and become post-tropical overnight and on Wednesday. So at this time tomorrow, Humberto will be gone and Imelda will be left. And as far as the rest of the tropics are concerned, there's really nothing in the cards for the next 7 days. It's pretty quiet out in the tropical Atlantic. In the central Pacific, it's absolutely quiet, and in the eastern Pacific, we have octave, and a disturbed weather closer to the coast, which may develop an 80% chance that'll develop into a tropical depression or a tropical storm in the next 7. Octave is at 10.2 north, 113.9 west, moving northwest at 6, 45-mile-an-hour winds, and it's forecast to strengthen. No, they keep it as a tropical storm, and they just meander it northwest and west-northwest through Sunday when it gets up all the way to 15 north. So this is one of these slow-moving Pacific systems, not going to have any real consequence to land areas. So you have Briller Jeopardy tonight, Mr. Rayo, do you not?
Yes, I do. And give me a few moments here and I will get it for you.
La 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 la
And
la 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 la. See, I'm giving them everybody a musical interlude. La
yeah,
la la
switch
la la la
now
la 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 la.
and get
La
that
la la
there.
la 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 la. La la la.
Okay,
Yeah. La.
so here we are. I think we're here. Uh, oh, I'm all the way back in July. What the heck is this all about? Oh, okay, here we go.
Okay.
And this was sent on Sunday night, but we pushed it off until tonight. And this is on Brother Jeopardy. We're continuing the with the average low temperatures in the month of September. Today, of course, the final day of September. And we'll start with New Orleans. Average low temperature in New Orleans in the month of September, Joe.
Well, I'll say, it's a little tricky for September. I'll say 71.
Not a bad guess. A little bit on the coolish or low side, but not a bad guess, actually.
Well, I'm usually, my guesses usually aren't too bad. Steve Lapointe says 72. Um, and Pat BFD, I think, is probably too high at 77.
Right. He is.
Um,
Although he's not, what did you say? You said 71 for
no,
your
he
guess?
said 77.
Yeah, but what did you say?
I said 71.
Okay. And I said yours was not a bad guess, but you were a bit low. And as
Lowish.
far
Mike,
as the
go, go
low
ahead.
being, a little bit on the cool side, and the person who said 77, and Christopedia was one of them, and Pat BFD, the 77 is no different than what Joe had put with 71. You're a little too high
Well,
for
Michael McGuire says 73, and David Scott says 74.
David Scott gets the bell ring. That is what New Orleans is, 74 degrees.
And so
Now we
did
move to,
Mr. Dreams, and Mr. Scalera got the same thing, 74.
and here is the next one, Central Park, New York City, Central Park. Average low in September.
Oh, God. Uh, I'm usually good with this. Let's see. Six, I'm doing my 68. I'll say, I'll say 61.
That's Snake Country, Joe. You're very close.
61. Johnny Sachs, 77, says 60.
Too low.
And
So what does that mean?
oh God, Michael McGuire. Not no, not for Michael McGuire. He said 62, but so did Ruben Fairchild.
Yeah, come on, man. Yeah. All right. Yeah, 62. And
62.
begrudgingly, I'll give Reuben Fairchild a ring.
As he pounds on Google to get the answer.
Yes. How about
Next.
how about Philadelphia?
All right. Well, New York City is 62. Philadelphia, even though it's a little bit further south, sometimes they're not as urban. I mean, it's a big urban city. Don't get me wrong, but it's a little less urbanized than New York is. Um, so I'm gonna take a shot and go a little lower and say 60.
You were correct in going a little lower, but you just went a little too
Too
low.
low. So I should have said what Rich Rothmansky said, which was 61.
Ding, ding, ding. Yes, 61.
Okay.
How, how about Orlando? Average low in September in Orlando.
Well, what do we say?
And
Um,
I'm going to say, we said 74 for New
New
Orleans.
Orleans, and yesterday we said 74 for Jacksonville. So I'm going to say for Orlando, I'll say 75.
You should have stuck with 74.
74.
Oh,
Okay.
well. Oh,
74
well.
it is, Steve Lapointe.
Yes,
Give the
yes,
bell to Steve Lapointe and Howard A.
yes. There you go. 74. Pittsburgh, Steel City.
Pittsburgh. All right. Well, Philadelphia 61. I'm going to say Pittsburgh might be a little bit
I'm,
cooler than that.
and I'm going to say that you're former colleague at Pix 11 would not at all like you to reference Pittsburgh.
Oh well, that's well. If that's the hint, then Michael McGuire and James Davidson get it too. Double nickels,
Double nickels, 55.
55.
Yes, yes.
Very good.
And finally, the bonus is Cape Hatteras.
Oh, it's really warm there. I'm gonna say I want to say 70. So I'm gonna say 70.
70 was a good guess, Joe. Just a tad too
Too
warm.
Oh, a tad too warm. Okay.
Yeah.
Um, so we're thinking 68 or 9 here. So Frank R says 68.
Do you want me to ring the bell now or wait until you
No,
come up with your guess?
if 68 it is, it is.
There you go.
And the bonus, do we have a bonus tonight?
That was the bonus. That was the bonus.
Oh, that was the
Cape
bonus.
Hatteras. Yes.
All
We had
right.
New Orleans 74, Central Park 62, Orlando 74, Pittsburgh 61, Pittsburgh double nickels at 55, and the bonus was Cape Hatteras at 68.
Well, nothing makes me happier than to be able to say double nickels. The only thing that would have made me happier is if I could have said double nickels and if one of them came up boxcars.
Yeah.
Because that would have, you know what? I don't even want to go down that road anymore. It's too many years have passed. And I'm not bitter. I'm not bitter. Not in the least bitter. So, anyway, okay. Folks, we're going to wrap it up because we've got nothing else to talk about tonight. So I'm going to save everything for next Sunday when we come back at 7:35 p.m. So enjoy yourselves over the next 5 days. Joe, you have yourself a good rest, and we'll see you on Sunday.
I hope so, Joe.
Yes, optimist that you always are. So everybody, bye bye. Have a great next few days. We'll see you on Sunday.